Good evening, everybody. How are you? How are you doing today? How has your day been? Good evening. Hope it's been a restful Sunday. It's good to be here tonight again on live with Moduni. How are you doing? Good evening, good evening, good evening. If you're joining me tonight, please let me know where you're joining me from. I'm glad to have you all here with me tonight. We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube as well. So good to have you here. Good evening, everybody. So let's get right into our conversation for tonight. Let's get right into it, and I'll still be checking the chat room to see anybody who is there and to, say hi. Anybody who says hi, say where you're joining us from. It would be nice to know. All right, great. So I know, yes, the flyer has been out saying the topic for tonight is I'm growing up. And what does that really mean? What exactly are we talking about? So let me start this way. Not everybody who actually likes you has the capacity to go where you're going. Some people may love you, they may love your smile, but they may not necessarily support your vision. Some people can enjoy the attention that you give, they might enjoy even spending time with you, but they feel threatened by your ambition. They could say that I love you, but they still want you to remain small enough for them to feel secure. And this happens, in relationships. This happens, because some people are just afraid to dream big, and some people just want to be in a relationship where they don't want the other person to be growing, they don't want the other person to be expanding, to go on a journey of becoming. They just want them to, let's just both feel small and feel in this same space, and no growth, no rocking the boat. Let's just stay where we are. But because you are in love, or because you are in a relationship, or you choose to be in a relationship, should not be that suddenly your dreams are now on airplane mode. You should not enter a relationship and suddenly lose your fire, or lose your focus, lose your friendships, lose your spiritual growth, or your financial goals, or even your sense of direction. Being in love, being in a relationship shouldn't take this away from you. So today we are talking about I'm growing up. It's a conversation about goals, it's a conversation about ambition, your priorities, and how all of these play out in your relationships. Love is good, love is sweet, love is important, but purpose is also important. Purpose also matters. So you're welcome. Welcome to today. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's life. My name again is Muduni, and what I do is to help young adults prepare for being wholesome, for getting into intentional and healthy relationships. And today's conversation is for you, the single person, or for you, the dating adult, or for people who are in talking stages, or for people who are in situationships. This conversation is for everyone who desires to have a meaningful relationship without losing themselves in the process. So please share this link with someone who you know is ambitious or also wants to be in a relationship and they are trying to build a life that makes sense. Share the link with them, share the live with them, let them join the live, or let them, watch this video, later on if they are not able to join right now. And as you join, please type in the comments, I'm going up. If you're here with us type in the comments, I'm going up. And like I said, please share this live video with your friends, share this with people who you know are serious minded, people who want to, you know, build a future for themselves, who are ambitious, but they also want to be in relationships. And maybe, just maybe, they are struggling to do both. So let's get right into it. I'm going up. I have the ambition. I have dreams. I have goals. I have things that I want to do. I'm working on becoming, the best version of myself. But before you become we, you can't afford to lose me. Like I said earlier on, relationships are powerful. When you like someone, when you're in a relationship with someone, it can affect every area of your life. It affects your schedule because now, maybe before you are single, if you wanted to do something, you got up, you went ahead to do it. You planned your diary, you planned your timing, everything was all about you and what you wanted to achieve. But now you're in a relationship. You need to take the other person into consideration. You need to fix them into your schedule when you guys will talk, when you will spend time together, when you will hang out, when you will go on dates. So relationships can affect your schedule, they can affect your decisions. They can affect the energy that you bring to each day. So depending on the kind of relationship that you're in, it's a good relationship, a bad relationship, it can affect the way your life begins to shape up. And that's why it's important that before you become we, before it is a we situation, me and my boyfriend, me and my girlfriend, me and my fiance, me and my fiance, before that we becomes, there's a need to know the me. There's a need to know who you are. There's a need to know where you are going. There's a need to know what is it that you're building with your life. What are your values? What kind of future are you preparing for? What kind of person are you becoming? Because if you don't have a clear sense of self, relationship can easily become your identity. And I'll say that again. If you don't have a clear sense of self, relationship can easily become your identity. And what does that mean? If you're not sure of who you are, if you don't have clarity on who your identity is, then you begin to pick your identity or shape your identity on the basis of who you are in a relationship with. And so let's say, for example, today, the person you're in a relationship with is somebody who is kind, somebody who is good, is generous, someone who is faithful. And so you begin to shape your identity according to who that person is because you've not been able to find yourself. And so you're taking you're beginning to shape your identity, you're beginning to shape who you are after this person. And then something happens, whatever it may be, and that relationship ends. And then you find yourself in another relationship with a guy or a lady who is not as kind, who maybe doesn't really care, who maybe is not thoughtful, who maybe does not have time and doesn't give attention to things that you give attention to. And then you also now decide that, oh, okay, so this is the person I'm in a relationship with, so this is who I must become. So now you have a different form of identity. How do you think you're going to show up to people that you meet on a day-to-day basis? You're going to be having multiple personalities because your identity is being formed by the person that you're in a relationship with. So everything that you do is now guided and managed by this relationship. You plan your moods are determined by your relationship. Your decisions are based on whether this person is going to approve of them or not. You start abandoning yourself, abandoning your goals, abandoning the things that you want to do because you don't want to seem too ambitious. You begin to reduce yourself so that your relationship can survive just because there's no clarity on who you are, on what you want to do, on where you're going, and what you want to build. But a healthy relationship should not require you to disappear. A healthy relationship would actually build you up. Love is supposed to add to your life, not erase your life. A healthy relationship will build you up. A healthy relationship would help you to on that journey of becoming. A healthy relationship would actually make you become better and not for your life to be erased. Because we have two individuals who are coming together to be in a relationship, and you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who is half of who they can become. Of course, I'm not expecting you to be with a perfect person or to expect the person that you're with to be perfect or to expect perfection from yourself. But there has to be that clear journey of becoming. There has to be that clear journey of growth to say, okay, this is where I am, but this is where I want to go, this is where I want to be. And that clarity has to be there because it's that clarity that helps you, first and foremost, to even decide on the kind of relationship that you're going to be in and how you'll be showing up in that relationship. So, if, for example, your grades are dropping, your business is suffering, your spiritual life has all of a sudden become non-existent. Your friendships with other people are slowly dying because you no longer have time for them. You no longer have confidence in yourself and the things that you want to do. And your dreams are slowly becoming silent because of one relationship that you're in. Then, my friend, you need to pause. You need to pause and ask yourself what exactly is going on. That attachment to this person may be taking over your life, and that's not the way love works. Some of you entered the talking stage and your entire life entered maintenance mode. You need to come back online. You need to come back to having clarity on who you are, on what you want to do, on where you want to go, on what your goals are. And don't ever think that your goals are too big or too ambitious. If you're with anybody who thinks that your goals are too big and your goals are too ambitious and you're dreaming too much, maybe they are not just the right person for you. Because whoever is with you, whether male or female, and I'm talking to both, to both gender at this point in time, whether you're the guy or whether you're the lady, you have to know what your goals are. You have to know what it is that you want to achieve. You have to know the kind of person that you want to be. So before you begin to talk or getting into a relationship, you want to make sure that you are not losing yourself. You are not losing your own identity. You have your own identity secure. You have your own identity locked down. And then that would even the clarity of what you want to do, the clarity of who you are, again, like I said, would help you to be able to decide on who you want to date. Will help you to be able to decide on how you want your relationship to be. Okay? So now that we've spoken about before we decide on, who this person is that you want to spend the rest of your life with, who is this person that you want to be in a relationship with. Before you decide on that, we've talked about being able to um, know who you are. Now let's look at before you choose someone who can grow with you, you need to choose somebody who can grow with you, not just like you. You don't just want somebody who likes you. So you're not only asking, oh, does this person like me? Or is this person interested in me? You also need to know if this person can grow with you. is this person someone who is even willing to grow, or are they just somebody who uh they're just like, look, whatever happens in life, it doesn't have to be anything serious. Doesn't have to be anything, life is not that deep. Life is not that hard. Life is not that serious. Let's just chill. Let's just take things easy. We don't have to be all growing and learning and learning and learning. And of course, because I say you are on a journey of growth or in a journey of becoming, doesn't mean you're not gonna have fun. Of course you have fun. You have fun. Life is, all about balance. You have fun. But in the midst of all of the fun, even the fun that you're having is all part of, your goals, all part of your becoming, is all part of your growth, because we're as human beings, there are many sides to us. One person as I am like this, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, um, I'm so many things. I'm a counselor. I'm a coach. So there are different parts, sides to me, or different aspects of my life that can show up at different times. And as individuals, we have different aspects of our lives. We have the spiritual aspect of our lives. We have the, wellness aspect. We have, the financial aspect. We have our careers and business aspect of that. So the totality of a human being has all of these different aspects, and all of these different aspects must be given attention at different points in times in our lives for us to fully grow and become, the wholesome person that we are and that we desire to be. So when you're choosing someone who you want to be with, your question should not just be if this person likes you, but your question should also be, is this person willing to grow with me? Does this person respect my vision? Do they encourage my growth? Do they also have goals of their own? Do they have discipline? Are they emotionally mature? Will they celebrate your wins, and do you celebrate their wins? Or do they become insecure when they see that you are progressing? Do they challenge you to become a better person positively? Do they help you to draw closer to God and to, or are they pushing you away from your values? Are they distracting you from the things that you say you hold dear and the kind of person that you want to be? Or are they encouraging you to be more of that kind of a person? Because a person can like you and still not have the capacity to partner with your future. They might not have the capacity to work with you in the future that you see for yourself. And we have to be mindful of that, because it's not just enough to like, it's not just enough to say, oh, I love this person. The person has to have the capacity to work with you in this journey of you growing up, in this journey of you becoming, in this journey of you growing and becoming a better version of yourself. Some people just like the you as they see now. They like you as long as you are available, you are predictable, you are not too demanding. But the moment you begin to grow, the moment you begin to gain clarity, the moment you begin to pursue purpose, the moment you begin to build confidence, they become uncomfortable. This is because they just like that status quo of, oh, okay, let's just stay at the level that this person is. The moment there's growth becoming this, the moment there's another level that is beginning to happen, they feel threatened. And again, like I said earlier on, this is not just for guys. This is for ladies, this is for guys, and we all need to be able to give this attention in whoever it is that we're choosing. And I know, I've heard a lot of coaches say, oh, women, particularly, you have to be careful with the person that you're choosing, because you are the one who does the choosing, in the sense that the guy comes to you and says, oh, I like you, I want to be in a relationship, blah, blah, blah. And you are the one that has the preference to say yes or no. And I agree with that. But I also say that the guy also does the choosing, because there are so many women, I'm sure, in every guy's space, that he has to look at all of them and decide, who do I want to go with? Who do I want to be with? So even for you, the guys, you are also doing the choosing. So don't choose someone who would only like you and love you when you're small. Choose someone who can look at your growth and say, I'm proud of you. Like, how can I support you? Choose someone who will keep cheering you on. You know that they are your number one cheerleader and they will always be there to keep cheering you on, to keep pushing you, to keep encouraging you to be better. And you also need to be that person to someone else. So, here we always balance the equation. It's not just for one person to demand this in another one if you are not willing to give it. Don't date someone who just wants premium access to you but has no respect for the assignment on your life. Don't just choose chemistry, guys. You also need to choose capacity. You need to choose someone who you know has the capacity to work with you, someone who you know aligns with your goals and your ambition, someone who you know is willing to do life with you on this journey that you know you are called to live. It might look like, oh, but what if I don't find anyone? What if all the people that I've been with, they say I'm too ambitious for the lady? They say I'm too goal driven. And we have ladies who are like that. We have ladies who have the personality of being goal driven and being ambitious and, being go getters. And sometimes they can be intimidating to men. But what I say to such people is, your own man is out there for you, because your personality is something that God has blessed you with. Of course, with every personality, there's the weak side of the personality, there's the strength of the personality. And of course, in our journey of becoming and in our journey of growth, we begin to improve on the weaknesses of our personality, even as we grow the strengths of our personality. So it's always a journey, it's always a process, but you're not going to change the essence of who you are just because the guys that are coming around you cannot handle your ambition, cannot handle your drive. The person who is for you will show up. The person who is for you will show up. And you have to believe that. You have to believe this, you know. So that's really my charge, for us today. Your relationship should not be the reason that you put your goals in drafts. Do not become so available for love that you become absent from your own life. Your own life is important. What you want to do with your life is important. Who you want to become, the future that you see for yourself is important. And love should add to that life and not erase it. And that's why when you are able to discern and decipher what that life is, then you choose somebody who is going to respect you in that journey and not somebody who is going to be threatened by it. So if this conversation spoke to you today, I want you to do three things for me. First, I want you to type in the comments, I'm going up whole. Whenever it is that you listen to this video, whenever it is that you watch this, whether now, if you are now live on the show, or if you're going to watch this later on, I want you to type in the comments, I'm going up whole. Second, I want you to share this live with a young adult who is trying to balance love, who is trying to balance goals, and who is trying to balance purpose in their life. Maybe they've been struggling with it. Maybe they've not been able to find someone who respects their goals and respects their purpose and just wants them to be mediocre. Maybe they've struggled with finding love and being able to grow purpose and destiny. Please send this video to them. Share the links to this video with them and let them learn 1 or 2 things that can help them to do this better. The third thing I would like you to do if you're watching this is if you are single or if you are dating or you are preparing for marriage and you know that you need structure, you know you need clarity in your life, you know you need guidance. That is the work that we do at Transformed You. We will help you to become whole. We will help you to become more emotionally aware. We will help you to equip you to get into wholesome and healthy relationships. First, by becoming a wholesome and a healthy person. So if you're ready to stop guessing and start preparing intentionally, click the link in the description box of this video to register for our upcoming webinar. And would like to see you at that webinar. Like I always say, the webinar is a place where we discuss a lot more of these things and break them down and have a more robust conversation on some of these things that can help us with the whole framework, being wholesome, being healthy, being people who we own our own position, we own where we are at the moment and own where we want to go. We grow in love and we evolve to become better versions of ourselves. That's the whole framework, and that's part of what we'll be sharing in our upcoming webinar. So if you're that person, if you're ready to stop guessing and ready to stop doing start stop, if you're ready to stop getting into the wrong relationships and getting into the wrong hands and having heartbreaks and emotional wounds and emotional traumas, click on the link in the description box, register for our webinar, and we'll be really glad to have you there. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. And thank you for those of you that will be watching this video later on. I really look forward to connecting with you, and I hope to see you again back here on Sunday. We'll be live again talking about a very important topic that I wish that you all will join us. Again, like this video, share it with other people, and click the link in the description box to register for our upcoming webinar. Thank you for being here tonight. It's me, your friend Moduni. I honor you and I love you. Bye for now.